Stephmas is all about.
What's good, guys? Welcome to Stephmas. Yay! So we're going to be doing 25 days of videos non-stop. Your girl is preparing for you. I am ready. Let's get into this. Let's have a great time. This will be nothing but this will be videos filled with crime, missing person cases, maybe a little bit of fitness, maybe a little bit of cooking, maybe a vlog. I don't know, but we shall see. I just want to do a variety for you guys, and we're going to start day one off with a story that really kind of took me by storm as I was reading on social media. I really have to get my page running because I really want to start posting a lot of the missing person articles as they come, because of course I have to sit down and film this video, so that takes time away from actually like doing the legwork. But I really wanted to start this video off with you guys and kind of just talk to you all, because it is very important. It's very imperative that you guys understand the significance of not leaving your friends to walk to their cars alone, making sure your friends get home safe, and just being a little bit more mindful of your surroundings, you know, like I have said in mostly all my videos, because I care about you. I don't want nothing to happen to you. Hell, I don't want nothing to happen to me. So if you're on my channel, your family, so I don't want nothing to happen to my family. I'm very overprotective of my fam. So let's get into Stephmas. Hope you guys enjoy this. This is really gonna be like a challenge. I did it last year. And it brought me, it was really good to do. It was really a great thing to do, especially when you're a small YouTuber. So let's get into this. Stop rambling. Hope you guys are ready for the ride. 25 days of me. Hope you don't get sick of me. And let's just have fun while doing so. So I don't know if you guys heard about the 19-year-old from Chicago. Her name was Ruth George. She was strangled and sexually assaulted by a man. And she was coming home from being out with her friends, and her story really struck me because, one, when I seen her photo, I'm like, oh my goodness, another beautiful young lady, you know, with so much life to give, so much more life to do, so many things to do, you know, so many aspirations she probably had. And it just makes you say, it could be you, it could be your loved one, it could be your family member. So it's really important that we just talk about her case a little bit and just talk about some things that we can do to really stay on guard and to be a little bit more safe. So like I said previously, Ruth George was a 19-year-old. She went to the University of Chicago. She was out one evening with her friends, and as she was on her way to her vehicle, she departed from her friends because she parked into the garage. About 1 something in the morning, there was a man who was following her, basically trying to get her attention, catcalling, if you say, and Ruth ignored him. You know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, like no one's trying to talk to you. I can probably imagine the fear in that poor girl's heart. Like, you're walking 1 something in the morning to your vehicle, you're trying to hurry up and get there, and then here it is, here comes some man trying to holler at you at 1 something in the morning. There's not many things that we can talk about at 1 something in the morning. And of course she ignored him. She did what we probably would have done, what I would probably have done. And it just makes you say, what gives men, and not even men, what gives these weak ass little boys the right to think that we are their fucking possession? And, you know, excuse my French, but that's what I felt when I read the article about. They found 26-year-old Donald Thurman, who was the suspect in the case, right? So like I said previously, you know, she was walking to her car, he was trying to talk to her, she ignored him. He then decides, because she ignored him, to put baby girl into a chokehold, and then as they got to her vehicle, he opened the back door, and that's when he sexually assaulted her, and she was unconscious. But it just makes you say, how many times have we been in situations where we have been just like that, where someone's trying to talk to us and we ignore them. And I remember plenty of times I got called the B word, I got called all types of hoes, I'm this, I'm that, you know, especially when you have a ring on your finger, people see that as a triple threat. They really try to talk to you. And it's just like, what gives you the right to think you own me, or we as females, or vice versa for men, because I know men sometimes they try to like leave women alone, but it's not really talked about. It's more so talked about when it comes to the females. It just makes you say, like, what gives your dirty ass the right to think that you own me or I'm your possession because I don't want to talk to you? Like, excuse you. And the sad thing about it is, so many people had so many great things to say about her. You know, she was a believer in Christ. You know, she was fun spirit. She had a lot of dreams and aspirations. And her life was just cut so short at 19 years old. And police ended up finding him because, one, they tracked via the cameras. So that was a great thing to have cameras around the garage. And then he left like a thumbprint or a handprint on her vehicle, so they were able to trace that back and match him. And as I was reading, he was out on parole. And this is another thing that sparks my interest of people who are getting out on bond, people who are out on parole. I get it, there are some people who really want to change their lives, but it makes it bad for the bad apples, makes it bad for the good ones who are really trying to get their life together. And it's sad that we even have to talk about those things, because we all know people who go to jail 9 times out of 10 are gonna create and do something else to end their ass back up into jail. And the thing about it is, Donald did confess to the crime. So it just makes you think, like, were you that mad she didn't want to talk to you? Like, you really had to take her life? You know, like, you really had to sexually assault her because she didn't want to talk to you? And it bothers my soul, because it's like, what gives you the right? Like, what gives you the right to take someone's life? And not only that, what gives you the right to think that they have to talk to you? They don't have to talk to you. And the thing about it is, you could be polite, you could be nice. I have still gotten cussed out, even by being nice. So now I don't say nothing. I don't say nada. Or if I say, like, someone says good morning, you know, how are you doing? I say, hey, how are you doing? And I keep it pushing. I put my mug on and I keep it pushing. But the thing about it is, why do I have to do that? I shouldn't have to do that as a young black female, you know, or female period. I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to put on a guard because I'm so afraid you gonna attack me. No. We shouldn't have to live like this. And I was just telling my friends on social media, it's like getting to the point, like, us females, we're really on the rise of things happening, human trafficking, being kidnapped, you know, being killed, we're missing, you know. It's like every time you turn around, something is going on, and it's getting really freaking crazy. And another thing that I did want to touch on as I talked about her, because her case is so out there, I didn't really want to go into like too much detail. I just really wanted to talk about it. But the thing, as I was reading the article, that kind of like struck me was when her friends departed from one another. I don't really know, like, all I read was that she walked to the garage to get to her vehicle. Now, this is something that we have to really be mindful of. And I know it's probably affecting her friends that she was with, because it would affect me, because that's just the type of person I am. I no longer let my friends walk to their vehicles by themselves if we drove separately. I would rather we lap up and I get you to your car because I know you're in your vehicle, or we park near each other. You know, no one leaves the group without we knowing where you're going, text messages and stuff like that. I think it's very imperative that we stop thinking, oh, she'll be fine, let her walk to her car. We're in the times now that anything can happen. Look at this poor baby. You're walking to your vehicle, trying to get to your vehicle. I can count on so many hands how many times that has been me. Walking from somewhere, trying to get to my vehicle. My friends are already in their vehicle, and I'm panicking like, let me hurry up. you know, because if you guys did not know, I had a life-threatening scare of my own. You know, if you guys missed that story time, I can kind of like say it in here. Basically, I was left outside the club drunk, and I had to get home. I was all the way in DC. I was an hour away from home. So I understand completely what it's like to be in fear of your life, afraid and scared, you know, and that has really kind of determined my factors of who I hang around, how much I'm drinking, you know, putting your trust into people, because it's so important that you're around people you can fully trust, because some people are really selfish and they won't put, if you're drunk and we're celebrating you, sometimes, yeah, you might be mad at your friend, but at the same time, you want to make sure that your friend is safe at the same time, you know, if they can't get in somewhere. If one of us can't get in, all of us ain't getting in. But that's why I say that I'm really passionate about this type of stuff, because anything can happen to you in the blink of a moment. I would have never thought that day I would wake up, hang out with who was a friend, and she left me outside the club. Anything could have happened to me. My guardian angels were legitimately on my back, like they had me. I literally had to walk like a couple blocks to get to my husband that day. And don't ask me how I did it. All I know is nothing but God. That's just the honest truth. So I think it's so important that we really, when hanging out, especially at nighttime in the wee hours, we really have to make sure our friends are getting to their destinations. And when they get home, make sure everyone's texting and doing all those things. And sharing locations is very important too. I know some of you guys are like, I don't want to share my location. I don't know where I'm at. But at the same time, you can cut it on and off if that's how you really feel. But when you're going out, let someone know where you're going. And you know, should be self-explanatory. But it's kind of good to have that, because she had that on her phone. Ruth George had that on her phone, and that's how her family and friends were able to find her. So we really have to just think a little smart in what we're doing. No one's to blame, of course. I mean, but we just got to take those extra caution steps, because like I said, anything can happen to us in the blink of an eye. You know, who would have thought he was sitting there waiting for her, you know? And it just sucks, because maybe if she would have had someone with her, you know, walking to her vehicle, maybe they could have fought him off, you know? I mean, you don't want to think that way, but at the same time, it's like, oh man, you know. And the thing about the guy, he was on parole for armed robbery, serving 2 years of 6-year sentence. So it says that he was, because I like to make sure I'm reading this correctly, guys. He was on trial for aggravated vehicle hijacking. He was charged with taking a female victim's cell phone while a male victim was being held at gunpoint. After taking the phone, he got into the male victim's 2011 Black Ford Escape and was picked up by the police after fleeing on foot. And this reminds me of Anaya Blanchard. You know, poor thing, they end up finding her body. I covered her story about a week or two ago. And I just had this gut feeling that she was deceased because of the amount of blood that they stated in the vehicle. And this is another thing that I say about letting these criminals out on bond and on parole who do not deserve to be out here. You know, like there needs to be things that's happening for them once they get out. And of course we all know they have the rehab, the facilities they can go to, but some people just don't need to be out on a damn street, because this is why they're doing more. You know, it's like it goes up a level. Oh, they didn't kill someone this time, here they come next time. And it's sad you have to even think that way, but now I get it. As I'm going through stories and I'm reading stories, I'm just like, keep their ass in jail. Like, are you really remorseful? Or are you just saying that to get out, you know? And it just makes you say. That's why we have to, we as women, we as males, period, we have to like look out for one another, you know, speak up on things when things are happening, you know. There's no more silent, like, there should be no more silent code. Like, you know, we as the women, like, we should be protected, especially by men. We shouldn't be being taken out from men. You know, we're here to love on each other and create with one another. So it's like, come on. If you want pussy that bad, there's prostitutes out here. It's out here. Go pay for it. Like, I don't understand some of y'all out here. You don't understand, y'all. There's people literally throw themselves at most of you men, but whatever. But that is pretty much Ruth George's story. I really just wanted to share her story on here so that maybe you guys can just be a little bit more safer when going out, you know, hanging with your friends. You know, don't let her story be in vain. You know, I'm sending love and light to her family. I know her family asked for privacy at this time, so just sending them love and light, and I pray that they can get through this grieving time. I know firsthand how it is to grieve someone. I haven't lost a child, but to lose my parents, you know, my grandmom, you know, people who had a pivotal role in my life, you know, it really does mess with you in some type of way. So until the next video, I'll see you guys tomorrow in day 2.